All right. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation and Treaty 3 territory. My name is Neil Harden. I'm chairing today's panel. With me via Zoom are Gail Anderson and Brent McIntyre. The assessors today will be Travis Gretchen and Matthew Harling, and the administrative personnel is Louise Boyley. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in their waiting room till your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Border Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment rules in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application and will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony. Anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by council and is independent of it in the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions the applicant may have, then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application be brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You'll receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 5, 12, and 13 on our docket today. We will start with item 13. Ms. Boyley, please affirm the assessor's and applicant's testimony.
Mr. Gretchen, please state your full name.
Sorry, I'm just gonna switch seat here.
Okay.
Travis Gretchen.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And Mr. Mason, if you could please state your full name. You're muted.
There we go. It's Christopher Mason with Ducharme McMillan Associates.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start, as I said, with item 13, 1090 Keniston Boulevard. So Mr. Gretchen on 1090 Keniston.
All right. So the file number is 22-3976. Roll year is 2023. The address, as you mentioned, 1090 Keniston Boulevard, and the business assessment ID is 7204. Our total annual rental value is $173,580. The total premise area is 11,960 square feet. And our overall ARV per square foot is $14.51. You'll see in my brief, the premise is broken up, or the building is broken up into two premises, one of 7,960 square feet, the other of 4,000 square feet. We have a blended rent of $12.22. Also, if you reference the brief, the premise with 4,000 square feet We do not include occupancy costs of water or air conditioning for that space, as we've been notified that they don't exist for that portion of the building. Below that, you'll find my comparables. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comparables there. The leases range from 2014 to 2019. The terms range from 2 to 10 years. Reported areas range from 5,700 square feet to 17,000 square feet. And the reported rents range from $12 to $15 a square foot. Moving to my second page, we've included a map. So you'll see on the map, the subject property is located at Keniston and Lawson in the southwest quadrant of the city. Moving to the next page, there's an aerial view. So you'll see the property is located right across from IKEA. And the last page there's 2 additional street view photos. So you can see, in addition to the property, they do have a number of storage tanks and space for trucks and equipment to be stored. And that concludes my presentation for 1090 Keniston.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Mason?
No.
Okay, Gail, any questions of the assessor?
Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Mr. Assessor, with regards to the rent comparables that you provided, those comparables, are they similar properties in that they have 2 buildings, or are they properties that have 1 building?
I'm actually uncertain on that. I don't have that. It's not included in the brief or on the breakdown of the comparable. So it would be more so focusing on when the comparables are searched for. I did a search based on smaller areas just because of the breakdown of premises. So I wanted to see what types of rents would be comparable for the smaller premise. And we also included one closer to the actual square footage of the total building. And then these would obviously be aimed to be in a similar location, and then with rents that could be close to what is being applied to the subject.
Okay. And in regards to the subject property, is modeled, the ARV is model generated, although
Right.
you did overrides in regards to the occupancy costs for the 1 building to take out the water and the air conditioning. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you visited the property?
I actually, off of work, drove by yesterday, but I have not inspected it.
Okay. And what about your comparables? Have you inspected any of
I have
those?
not, no, we just don't have time to visit that many properties.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation. Those are all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, questions, Brent?
I just have one. Travis, what was the blended rate again?
$12.22.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Right. Chris,
if I can ask, looking at your picture on the top of page 3, I guess, is the 4,000 square foot building that one that's kind of in the lower right corner of the property?
I believe the 4,000 is actually part of the initial footprint of the building. Like if you look where it says 1090,
Yeah.
you can kind of see 2 different, is it 2 different like ceiling heights?
Yeah, okay.
So my assumption would be that back building is more of a storage. I'm not even sure. It doesn't look like a tent, but some sort of storage unit.
Okay, so it's not
Not included.
not included. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That helps. So Mr. Mason, you can proceed with your presentation.
okay. So I just give you some context on why we have an appeal outstanding with this. I was kind of hoping this property would settle. We settled the realty appeal on this particular location through Board of Revision, and we're hoping to target the same rent that was resolved on the realty and have that applied to the business assessment. The problem is there's historical appeals outstanding with another agency that are holding up the process. And so that's why we're kind of going through the motions, I guess, here. And, I think when we originally went through this, we've identified that this property isn't necessarily comparable with a lot of the comps that are provided, given the point that this is a much older facility. It's a waste disposal facility that isn't actually connected to the sewer systems, and it has two very distinct and fairly basic structures on site that aren't necessarily comparable to some of the rents that are provided. And when through the realty appeal and on my particular brief, I provided some rents that indicated approximately $11 a square foot through the comps, but then made a downward adjustment to reflect some of the risks associated with this particular site. One, not connected to the sewer system, but to some of the contamination that may be prevalent on the particular site due to the nature of the business that's going on. And the general sense on it, I came out with about $9.27, but based on the settlement that we reached through the realty, I provided in my recommendation, because we did settle the realty appeal. We haven't appealed any further. We felt that the recommendation through the realty was fair, and our recommendation, or my recommendation for the business assessment, is to lower the rents to reflect what was settled for the realty appeals, and those include for the 7,960 square foot, the base rent is approximately $10.39 a square foot, and then for the 4,000 square foot building, it's approximately $12.39, and that's basically my position on this particular property.
Okay, questions, Mr. Gretchen?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Brent, any questions?
Just one. So for the 4,000 square foot, I'm looking at page 2 on your table.
Yep.
You're showing a rent of $13.64.
If you scroll down towards the bottom on page 4, the revised, are you looking?
I see it there.
You'll see the revised value. And the total value changes from 173,000 to approximately 159,000.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question.
Okay, Gail, any questions?
No, I have no questions. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right, just to clarify then, this was a 15-1 agreement on the realty side?
It was through the board decision, so
so it was a board order then, not an agreement between the parties.
correct.
All right, thank you very much for that. And we have no more questions. So then we will go on to 1200 King Edward Street. So
I believe that's
Thanks everyone for your time. I'm going to be stepping
Thank
away.
you.
Now I'll be stepping back in.
yep.
Thank you to both of you.
thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
And
Thank you.
can you swear the assessor and the applicant in, Louise?
I'm sure we're ready. Okay, Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Matthew Harley,
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Howard Lindsay McCubbin.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, so we have 1200 King Edward Street. Mr. Harling, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 22-4375. The roll year is 2023. The address is 1200 King Edward Street. The business assessment ID is 4361. And the owners are Peak of the Market Stills Limited. So as I stated, the 2023 business assessment value based on the reference date of April 1st, 2021 is $470,400. I do actually have, before I go into my brief, I do have a recommendation to present for this property. So again, we're using $470,400. And you can just see we're using a rent of $5.20 a square foot, 63,559 square feet. So I'm proposing a recommendation to 457,020. And this is based on adjusting the net rent or the model rent from $5.20 a square foot to $4.99 a square foot.
Okay, and Mr. McCubbin, how do you feel about that?
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. The recommendation is accepted.
All right, Gail or Brent, do you have any questions on the recommendation?
Can you just repeat the recommended amount?
I apologize, yeah. 457,020.
Okay. No, I have no further questions. Thank you.
And I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, then we will move on to 1265 Empress. So, Mr. Harling, you can proceed.
Thanks, Chairman. The file number is 22-4591. The roll year is 2023. The address is 1265 Empress Street. Business assessment ID is 19841. Business name is Safeway 60-6217, and the owners are Canada Safeway Limited. Again, the 2023 business assessment value, based on a reference date of April 1st, 2021, is $377,460. I also have a recommendation to put forth for this property. So my recommendation is $343,080, and this is based on adjusting the model rent from $8.08 a square foot to $7.19.
$7.19?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. McCubbin, how do you feel about this recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, we do accept that recommendation. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Gail, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Brent?
And I have no questions. Thank you.
All right, so we've heard all the properties on the agenda today, and this hearing is now closed. Thank you very much for your presentations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you very much, guys.
Here.
Short,
Bye-bye.
short and sweet.
Exactly. That's how I like it.